that thing I was talking about in the podcast, where it's like that social experiment of like, hey, everybody deserves to be special forces, and it's like, no, everybody doesn't. There's a reason we have selection. Like, there's a reason you have to go through all this to prove yourself. Like, you think you deserve to be, like, come prove yourself. You can tell them no 1,000 times. You can put them on the other side of the fire base. Yeah. Somehow that dude will find his way to that woman, that target, and like make it happen. Yeah. Like, I think the biggest thing that the Army dropped the ball with is making the, I guess, gender neutral standards, or whatever the new standard is.
What's going on, folks? Welcome back to the channel. Today I have Lieutenant Colonel Owens here, guys, former team leader for my old team. And today I just wanted to bring him on and talk about a variety of different topics. We just did the podcast, but I wanted to get some shorter clips and introduce them to you guys, right? Today we're going to talk about, at least for this clip, we'll talk about female in special operations, right? And then we'll also touch on his leadership philosophy, right? With all that said, Theo, appreciate you coming on. When it comes to females in special operation, give me your best Jake Zwade answer. What are your thoughts on that specific one?
So I've been in during a time of like females going to Ranger School and going to selection, and I think the biggest thing that the Army dropped the ball with is making the, I guess, gender neutral standards, or whatever the new standard is, only because there are females that can do special operations jobs. There are females that can do SF jobs. You discredit them by changing the standard and not letting them meet the standard that was previously established. And I say it's twofold, because one, you and I both know, like, there are a bunch of males that wouldn't have made it if they didn't have those lowered standards. Mm-hmm. And now, the females and their abilities are being taken away because the Army or military made a lower or gender neutral standard for them. And then those males are meeting their standards. So now they're coming in compared to those individuals that we normally would not have let in. I think plenty of them are capable for the majority of the special operations missions. Some would be specifically hard, like obviously, like dealing with some of the DA things, or dealing with like being on a ruck team or mountain team, just because of sheer weight and some of the things that's hard for normal able-bodied people to get over. But I'm sure there's outliers who could get through it. I think my biggest thing would be also for any like female that is currently in special operations or SF and is thinking about it, is like the mental toughness you're going to need. Because, I mean, let's just be real, like, the standard is going to be different for you. You have a standard of like checking all the normal blocks we have to check, but then every conversation is going to be on every move, and what you do or unfortunately don't do is going to set the standard or cause there to be a comparison to every female in the regiment or after you. And while it's not fair, it's just unfortunately the culture. And like, you have to be ready for that to be damn near perfect, because you're going to be under so much scrutiny. You have to be undeniable in those positions.
And that's just one aspect of it, right? Then you got the dudes themselves, right? Because I'm telling you, man, it's a different fucking world, right? And we witness it. Well, I witnessed it firsthand when they had the female engagement teams, right?
I have female engagement team as well.
That debacle, right? Great concept, but you still can't take the human nature out of it. The male and female aspect of it, right? Because at the end of the day, we can fight that as much as we want, but it's gonna happen.
This segment is brought to you by the Elite Academy Patreon page. There you'll be able to find my new ebook, The Green Beret Guide, and I also have my daily workouts being posted on there, along with several different ruck plans that you can use to help you train so you can attend and get selected. The link to the Patreon will be in the description down below, guys. Let's get back to the episode.
Why are you talking about that? So, and I guess my question with the mixing of males and females, just in any environment, not necessarily just South, does the Army do a bad job of I guess, saying like it's unwarranted or you can't ever do it. And I say that from understanding good order and discipline, understanding everything. Human nature, if not necessarily a female and male are on a team, but they're in a working environment, they're not married, like it's almost unrealistic for everyone to believe like there may not be some room for a natural human relationship.
Yeah.
The Army takes this clear cut line of saying like, no, don't be human, only be this at work, and you can't do that. You can't do anything, I guess relationship wise, emotional wise, etc. I'm not saying like we need to like just go out and advertise like, hey, get in a relationship, but we should be a little more understanding of like, hey, human nature is gonna happen.
Yeah.
Let's correct it afterwards. Don't throw the baby out with the bathwater. Make the correction on the spot. And I was like, okay, we know these two people can't be in a unit together. You can be together, you got to be in separate units.
Yeah.
But we go scorched earth. Like,
yeah,
if you are a female and you're a male and you have a relationship in a platoon, a team, whatever, like the full weight of the Army is going to come down for you on fraternization. Yeah. But they want you to be human as you do operations. They want you to be human and have relationships and build trust and everything. Like part of that, unfortunately, is unfortunately, is that natural attraction.
Yeah,
we have the system in place to fix it.
Yeah, and it's such a hard topic or such a hard issue to fix, man. Because
have we fixed it though? Like think about it.
You can't.
Yes, exactly.
Because you can meet, the most professional, female out there, and she'll tell you, you put me in this unit, I'll never do X, Y, and Z. But all it takes is for her to meet that one guy.
Yeah.
The one dude that's her type or that just does it for her. And it's gonna go out the fucking window. Like I don't care who you are. Presidents have done it.
No, you're right. Unfortunately, we put it all on the females, but it's the males too.
Oh yeah.
You and I have been on deployments, and I always like joke about it, and we're a little off topic, but I call it like deployment love.
Yeah.
Like people are in environments where they, their lives on the line. They're alone, unafraid, and they're just away from like all those things that are normal, like human comforts.
Yeah.
And individuals that are not married, they find each other in this environment. Their endorphins are running. They've been in like life or death situations. Like those type of situations cause like short-lived, relationships or quick attractions.
Yeah.
And like the Army does not do a good job on
it doesn't.
Like one, psychologically preparing people for it, and then like having a standard of like, hey, this is not allowed. The mistake was made. Now we now have to correct the mistake.
Yeah.
Because I've been in 23 years. Every deployment, it's happened numerous times. Yeah. And again, we're not talking about people who are married, commit adultery, but like if two single individuals in Iraq are on a fire base and they start a relationship, why is it not allowed? They could die tomorrow. Like if it's not like no fraternization, they're not influencing people. Like why can't they? Why do you hate love, Army?
And the Army try to make it seem as if it's not gonna happen.
Yes,
it's gonna happen.
It's gonna happen.
It's gonna fucking happen. And it's not the female's fault.
No.
It's the dudes. But
it's both. I mean, you know the rules.
Yeah, but dudes are just like we're supposed to pursue, and that's what dudes do, man. Like I don't care who you are as far as female dudes. Like you can tell that dude no 100 times. There's gonna be 101, just because, especially in our environment, dudes just don't know how to take no for an answer, and it is what it is. You know what I mean? It's fucking human nature. Now I'm not telling dudes to go rape and do all that dumb shit, but it's just the environment that we're in. You know what I mean? And
it's the personality of the individual, right? Every SF dude is America's Next Top Model.
Yeah,
they're strong as Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yeah,
they can kill everything like Rambo, and they're unstoppable.
Yeah,
and like those individuals, they see women as like either a challenge or they see them as a goal. Yeah. And like you said, you can tell them no 1,000 times. You can put them on the other side of the fire base. Yeah. Somehow that dude will find his way to that woman, that target, and like make it happen. You're like, dude, like when did you have time? Like we're doing 72-hour operations. Yeah. How did you start a relationship? Somehow.
Dude, I had a guy get roses in Afghanistan to give to. I'm like, dude, I'm talking about like roses from like Walmart. I'm like, how'd you get roses out here? You know what I mean? He fucking made it happen.
And again, impressive. Think about it. I mean, to an extent, that's the dude I want on my team.
Yeah.
He saw a goal. He figured out, like, I'm going to stand out.
Yeah.
I'm going to get roses in Afghanistan, I'm assuming, and I'm going to get this to this person I'm attracted to. Like, that's the epitome of an SF dude that you want on the team. You obviously got to reel him in from time to time.
And that's who you're putting women around. Like, again, like, from an operational perspective, I don't have a problem with it. I think they're just as capable of doing the job to an extent. But my issue's always been just the dichotomy of the team room and how that's gonna change. And a lot of people say, "Oh, it's not gonna." I'm like, dude, I just spent 20 plus years. You have 23. Like, it's gonna change, guys. Like the FET teams or the female engagement teams that the Army introduced back in the early 2010-ish. That wasn't supposed to affect it at all. But several team sergeants fired later, several dudes fired later. Guess what? Several marriages, and it affected it, right? And it's not something that we can change. But I do think there's a place for them, though, in special operations. Several units have done it effectively.
Exactly.
And I just don't know why the Army, well, several units in the Army have done it correctly. I don't know why our regiment is not looking at that template to do it that way, because I think that would be, I've been to sniper school. I don't have patience for that shit. But I know females do.
Yeah, most of the women I know are excellent shooters.
You know what I mean? Like,
shooters. A lot better than me.
Yeah. So why we're not looking at that option, I don't know. And I think politics has a lot to do with it. And if I had my way, there would be no politics in the Army or the military as a whole. Yeah. But we digress.
No. And to your point, like the politics, and we've seen it a little bit, like towards the latter part of your career and mine. Like, it's became a little bit of that thing I was talking about in the podcast, where it's like that social experiment of like, hey, everybody deserves to be special forces. And it's like, no, everybody doesn't. There's a reason we have selection. Like, there's a reason you have to go through all this to prove yourself. Like, you think you deserve to be, like, come prove yourself. Yeah. And the social experiment, as like people have talked about it, just, it doesn't work in true like conflict and war. Yeah. I want it all to be equal. I want everybody to be happy, but I also don't want to like look to my left and look to my right and not have trust in the abilities that, you know, somebody who was selected, the trust in the abilities of somebody who was selected, that they're going to be able to do their job when I need them to. Yeah. You know. And
for people that are saying that the standards didn't change, I was just watching 2 Weeks in Hell. 2 Weeks in Hell earlier, when selection was 2 weeks, when Chris and I went through. And the most, and I'm sure you can speak to this too, the worst part of selection for me was log and rifle PT.
I love log and rifle.
That shit. For 3 hours, no, I fucking hated that shit. But that's removed, right? Yes, log PT's gone, rifle PT's gone. No. And then the trek is now like a modified, walk, which I want to say still 30 plus miles, but now it's more structured. So for folks that are saying, hey, the standard hasn't changed, I'm like, then why the fuck do you take away log and rifle PT? No. Like, that's the epitome of like upper body strength right there, right? No. But that was removed. And I got a lot of guys.
No, it was the mental fortitude. Yeah. Like, people were quitting during the log and rifle PT, and I think we did it as the second event. I was like, this is getting people.
After the PT test. Yeah. I'm like, what the fuck?
And I was just like, oh, this is easy. This is a break. I hated the log because not everybody was holding the log, but rolling in the pit, and like, it wasn't anything. I was like, oh, I can do this forever. Yeah. But you're right. Like, that was one of our most, that was one of the highest attrition events that we had.
A lot of people quit that shit.
Yeah. It was seen as hazing by, I guess, whoever reviewed the 2 Weeks in Hell.
Which 2 Weeks in Hell is banned now. Yeah. Like, you can't find that shit anywhere. I was trying to find it so I can react to it. Like, I even paid the $2 to buy it, and I can't even do it. Yeah, I can't even fucking do it. But anyways, folks, let us know what you guys think on the topic of female in special operation. All right. Let us know in the comment section below. Again, I'm for it. I just think it's gonna take like brilliant leaders to actually apply them in the right manner. That's gonna, and a fucked up thing is, like, once they started doing that, like, sexual harassment like went through the roof.
Yeah. So. And I'm going to not dirty, it's just proven. So there is more male on male sexual harassment than there is on male on female sexual harassment. The issue is that males don't report it. Yeah. And a lot of the times it's like people who know other people. So,
oh, shit.
Yeah.
Motherfuckers. Keep your hands to yourself. Yes. Anyways, folks, let us know what you guys think about the topic in the comment section below, guys. Until next time, take care of yourselves.